Hey, Boot Scoots. I have missed the heck out of both of y'all. Y'all haven't called me in a hot minute. I'd love to hear from you. Give me a shout soon. So I wanted to show y'all I made some succulent gardens with my props that I had. See all these little pretty things? These kind of look like Shrek's ear. I don't know if you guys watch Shrek or not. This is part of a cactus, that one, that fell off. And so I was like, oh, well, it'll look pretty like this. And so now that's where it lives. We've got some morning glories coming up here. You can see these little boys. And we're going to wrap them around so that it'll flow up our hibiscus trees when it's time, when they get a little bigger. Here's another little succulent garden. Oh no, what's wrong with this little dude? Not doing super well. Maybe it needs some more sun. It must not be feeling very strong right now. Got a little action going on over here, looking nice and cute. Another little Shrek's ear. Boop boop. We have a moonflower that's coming up and wrapping around my fuchsias, so that might need to be my fuchsia's home for a little bit. And what else? I haven't looked in this pot over here in a minute. Let's see what's in there. Ooh, we've got some morning glories coming up. I planted sweet peas and black-eyed Susan vines. I think that's what these are. And we'll have to wait till they grow in to see. I could Google it, but I kind of like the surprise of it all, to be honest. I filled up my pot here. I took out the ice plant and replaced it with these. These are called Wandering Dudes. And these are called Purple Hearts. They're coming in nicely. It's not the most beautiful thing in the world, but it sure ain't bad, you know? These over here are doing all right. It's been very rainy lately, and so they haven't gotten a lot of sun, but you can see, like, they're kind of coming into their own. They're working on it, and that's what matters. They grow in just a little bit at a time. Oh, we got some morning glories coming in right there, too. I planted a bunch around the fence, and when I say a bunch, I mean over 3,000, and that's not a joke. We got the big mint plant here and this little mint plant here, and you might be thinking, wow, that's dying, it's brown. But see, it's got new growth. What matters most is just that it's got new growth. That means that it's trying, that means that it's working on it. You can see here we got a little morning glory. There's a couple down there if you can't tell. If you go to the other side, look at this. Morning glory. I'm pretty sure that right there is a sweet pea. And then we've got a couple sweet peas and morning glories here. That's a sweet pea. That's a sweet pea. Those are sweet peas. This is a morning glory. So what's going to happen is, see how this fence here works? So it's going to come up and it's going to wrap around like a nice little vine action. So let's whip around right quick to the backyard. We got our painting stuff out because we painted yesterday. Let me show it to you, because Craig did an amazing job. So he had a little peacock he did. Look at the detail in that. Isn't that beautiful? And he was like, you know what? The peacock looks hot, so I'm going to put it in a little kiddie pool. So we made a little summer-themed kiddie pool for the 4th of July. And then let's see what else we did on here yesterday. I added a little antelope. This is a mistake. I like for you guys to see the failures, because you might be looking like, wow, it's an excellent peacock. They're such good painters. I couldn't do that. Yes, you can, because sometimes you do something great like a peacock, and then sometimes you're me and you try and do a lemur and you completely mess it up, and so I'm just going to end up covering the whole thing with a bush and starting again. You have to fail sometimes in order to have things look good occasionally. So always remember that. I got a little butterfly I added here, a little squirrel hanging out amongst the mushrooms. That's looking pretty good. What's you guys' favorite animal on here? Do you have a favorite? Got a monkey, a rhino, a bird of paradise. There's my fish, Tajitu. Because why not? Of course fish can swim through the air. Craig did this little picnic blanket and tree and stuff, and look, he even did a little thing of ants going to the picnic basket. Ain't he cute? Hi. The boys in here are still doing good. His water's not up all the way because I had to change it the other day. Hi, Tajitu. And see, I gave him a little summer-themed aquarium here. I got some narwhals that float. They're like attached to these rocks by string. Little hula girl, little mushroom house. The pleco that, can you see it back there? That one? He loves the mushroom house for some reason. I always see him on it. I don't know why. Because he eats algae and there shouldn't be that much algae on that house. It's new. But, he digs it. I haven't seen a lot of the shrimp recently. Well, now I say that, and there's one right there. But, I think they've been hiding a little bit. Maybe they got a little bit scared whenever I changed out the tank water or something. I don't know. But I haven't seen a whole lot of them. So I might go get some more soon. Because I really enjoy watching them. And they're like 30 cents a piece. It's totally worth it. I got some props still, as always, going in the fish tank back here. Ooh, some new little cactus babies. Little jade, little succulent, another little succulent. That one's been there. We're turning this into a planter as well. All right. Boop, boop. So that little chandelier you just saw, I'm going to hang it here and put planters of cactus all on it so it's nice and pretty. Because I can't get rid of this pole, and I've been trying. I was like, well, if I can't get rid of it, I may as well make it beautiful. So I'm going to make it beautiful. I got some plants going here too. Sweet peas and morning glories and stuff. I'm going to take these 3. I need to find a way to use rope to hang them off of this fence. I think that would be pretty to have like the vines coming down. And I've got plenty of vines down at the fence. We'll see those in a second. Some more props I got going. Not all of them are doing well. These are my lilies. And you can see my lilies are starting to come up. Lilies are bulbs, so that means that even if like the top starts dying, which is what had happened, you just keep watering them. The bulbs will make more eventually. I don't know what these are. They gotta be either like sweet peas or morning glories or those, I got Chinese forget-me-nots. But I'm thinking that since there's 4 of these in this pot and I've never seen them before, it can't be a weed, so we're just going to let them grow and see what happens. This little string of turtles. That's another little string of turtles. They're just little props I found. And in here, these itty bitty bitty ones. Can you see? Those are black-eyed Susan vines. They're this really pretty, like pop art looking orange flower. And here's down here what I really wanted to show you, and it's not because it's beautiful, but because it's a good lesson for you to learn. Alright, so I planted, what all did I plant down here? What are those things called? It's not clematis, it's cypress. I planted cypress vines and morning glories, honeysuckle and blackberry vines down through here. Oh dang, this one's getting it. Look at you go. Hey! So, as you can see, like some of them are kind of starting to come up, but you can also see this is the blackberry and honeysuckle vines. There's a lot of dead ones too. Like look at how much dead stuff is here compared to like the ones that actually grew. So I don't want you guys to think that every time you do something it's going to turn out right. There's going to be a lot of failures. Like you see that one? Dead. That's a failure. But you see this one? Those are morning glories. Those are alive. They're doing well. But look, right beside it, another failure. See all that brown here? Failures. And we'll walk along. We got some mint plants going. As you can see, like half the mint plant here is dead. But then some of it's alive. And that's just the way things work out sometimes. Like you see that? Dead. But then you got down here that's alive. And so don't think just because something doesn't work out for you once that that's the way it's always going to be. You're going to have some failures. You have to risk failing if you want something to eventually be beautiful. And it's going to happen. And you might end up killing like 15 plants before one ends up working for you. And that's alright. What matters is that you tried and you learned and that you don't stop trying just because you had a couple of failed attempts. Here's a few of my failed attempts. And there's some more. There's a lot of them actually. It's going to happen to you in any part of your life, alright? Sometimes it's just not going to go like you want it to. It's going to look like poop. It's not going to give you the results that you wanted. And that doesn't mean that you stop. It just means that you keep trying and you learn from it a little bit. For instance, what I learned about these bad boys was that I was lazy. That I had new plants in. I should have watered them every single day, especially in the hot summer sun, and I didn't. And so now I learned that, hey, If I actually want this to grow and to be better, then I need to consistently put my time and energy to it and make sure that I'm coming out here and watering it whenever it needs to. Doesn't matter that you failed a few times. What matters is that you kept trying, you persisted through it. And eventually you get, very beautiful plants. These are a little bit empty now because I made those little succulent beds I showed you up front. And these, talk about failures, these are full of dead stuff. I gotta go through this right here soon because it's starting to look like a cemetery. But I put it in here and I try. And sometimes it works, as in this plant, this one's looking beautiful. And sometimes it doesn't work, like this plant, it looks like poop. But sometimes it does. But sometimes it doesn't. And that's okay. Again, what matters is just that you learn from it. And then eventually, you can make some really beautiful things. I should go, I guess. I'm kind of out of plants to show you. Well, we can take this one off. This one might be dying too. It's a prop, so it's a cutting that I took from a Calibrachoa at Craig's dad's house he let me have. We put the jar on it, and so that way it'll retain some humidity so that it can grow roots. It's not looking too hot though, is it? There's not really any root growth on it yet. But you know what? We're going to keep trying, because that's just about all we can do, and hope that it works out. I'm going to leave the jar off now, let it get some more CO2. Hopefully, maybe that's just what it needs and it'll help it out. But we'll see. We'll just keep waiting. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But no matter what, I'm going to keep trying. Anywho, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Please feel free to call me soon. I have really missed y'all a whole lot. I love you. Bye.